right, let's do the walkthrough of this little thing. Turned out really pretty cute. It is a little bit, well, magnets are very strong. That's a good thing. But it's a little bit wobbly, is what I was going to say. I think they're better with chipboard, but I'm thinking about making a box that you could slide several of those into. I think it'd be fun to have several holidays in one box. Anyway, those are cut aparts out of the 12 by 12, and I backed them on gold paper because of the gold in the cut apart itself. And then I just matted the whole piece of paper in the gold. And I did all that off of the book, which is much easier. And that way I could put the ribbon underneath it, tie it, and I, with some embroidery floss, did the other little ribbon. So got me a little hint of blue in there with a little closure that we did. And it needs a little extra, so we're going to use one of those little Valentines that was in the 12 by 12. And I don't know, I think I did put it in the middle. I'm kind of liking it at the bottom, but it's already stuck down to the middle. But it did not fold. It's a perforated line, but so, and it's crooked, so I'm going to trim it on both sides just to get it fixed up and get it nice and square. I thought it would just be on that one end, but no, the other side's not square either, and it's not going to cut straight or well. You can see I'm going to pick up my blade and stick it down in the middle. See here, I start to, and they go, no, move it, right? Okay, so when you sink your blade like that, you're supposed to get a good cut, but I did not. So, I mean, that's especially important when you got a little tiny piece to cut off. So I'm cleaning it up with my scissors, and I'm going to reach for that sanding block that you've seen me use. That I got off Amazon. I like them with my, to use it on paper. It's just very gentle. So I'm going to sand that little corner, just kind of buff it gently, and you'll never know I had the rough cut. Now, those things are awesome. All right. So I cut me a hinge out of that gold paper too. And I thought, you know, if I fold it inside out, or, you know, with the brown outside, that way the gold will be on the inside. When you open it up, you'll see the gold, which I think would be better. So I'm going to attach it to the back of that rather than just putting it straight down to the album. If I did that, then it'd be in the way. Here you can use the back of it and the inside of it and everything. So I'm going to put the glue on the little Valentine itself because it'll keep me from making the mess I usually make, right? If it were on that band, it's bigger than my Valentine, so I would have been making a mess. But glue, I got a love-hate with it. It's going to slide around, but I managed to get it under control and make a mess. And that's why I keep my towel, my Kleenex, my whatever handy, because I'm just the messy crafter. I would show you guys the decorating of this album, but it's a very chaotic, messy mess. I don't know how to film that. And I don't know how to tame myself to be a better, cleaner crafter. But if you want me to try, let me know and I will try. I'm going to trim off the excess with my scissors and then just glue it down. Just glue it down. I'm also going to give this away, guys. I'll post the whatnots at the end of the tutorial, but if you want to win this, I'd love to give it to one of my subscribers. Pink is not my gig, so I don't need it. And I don't have the big family anymore that I would fill with the pictures, right? So if you'd like to win it, you know, just leave me the comment, all the stuff. But I'll leave the particulars in the description, and I'll also write them at in a title at the end of the whole tutorial. So just going to put that right in the middle and just hold it down for a minute. And I think it adds something. Now, Valentine's, to me, I loved Valentine's back in the day. We have 5 kids. We used to do a Valentine box. I'd set it up 2 weeks in advance, and all the kids had to put at least one thing about their siblings in there. Some nice thing that they did, or something they admired about them, and something, and the box would fill up, and we'd sit around after dinner on on Valentine's and read those adorable things. It was awesome. So I just used the paper pack to cover all these things. I left the inside of that pink because 1, it's going to bulk up, and 2, don't try to lay it to push it backwards. It's not a regular mini album. Those things are all glued together, so it doesn't act like a mini album, but it's just a little trifold. So under there is 2 places for pictures, or 3, I guess. When you lift that one, there's another place underneath it. that paper came out that I was just showing that one out of the 6x6. This is the only paper I got out of the 6x6. So I was pretty disappointed in that pack. So other than that, you know, I left that blank because our magnets have to reach. So put a little paper on either end and some paper on the back. And now here's the tutorial. To start the trifold, I've got 2 pieces of 110 pound. I think that's going to be important because there's not going to be any chipboard in here. I'm going to cut it down to 7. I just want to do a little different size. If you don't want to waste the paper, you could do it the full. This is going to be how tall it will be, right? So I'm going to do mine 7 tall. But you could use the full paper if you wanted. Okay, so now scoreboard. And let's score this bad boy. Okay, so the first score I want to make is at 1 inch because I like being able to fold back that flap for stability. Then I want to make it, I think, 5.5 inches wide. So I'm going to go 5.5 there, 6.5 there for my 1 inch spine. Right? Whoops, I just slid off of that. This is thick carb chipboard. You gotta, probably should have scored twice on all of them. And then that's all the scoring for there. And then the second piece, we made that 5.5 inches through there, right? So I'm going to score this at, say 5. It really does. We'll say 4.5. Just feels better. This is just connecting to the back piece there. So if you scored at 4.5, you're going to need to go to 5.5 because you need your spine, right? Your 1 inch spine. Okay, and then I am going to score 1 inch away from here, so that'd be at 10. Just gives you a nice finished edge. All right, let's pull out some glue. Look at me wanting to pull out glue before I did the most important thing. Fold and burnish, right? I haven't crafted anything in so long. This is going to feel good. I don't know if you guys saw what happened on my YouTube channel with the our winter situation. I thought that was awesome because you can never have too many friends, right? So happy to do that. So fold, and let's fold this one. I want to go this way. And then our 1 inch spine. Plus, if I hadn't made the other third winner, I would have felt bad about it. It would have worried me. I would have been nagging myself for a long time how I handled it. So I'm glad I just went ahead and said, you know what, we're just going to be happy here. This is a happy place. So glue on that 1 inch flap. We're just going to fold that over, and that'll just give you a nice front edge. We could have cut it off, but I think this gives you a little more stability and a nice finished edge. All right. So just glue that down. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, and just burnish that down really well. Let the tool do the work instead of my hand. My hand's doing pretty good, gotta say. All right, now these you're going to connect, right? And all you want is for this to fold over. It's going to be a nice, get your 1 inch out there, nice and square, or nice and, you could, however you wanted it, right? So all I want to make sure is that my glued over edges are there, and that I think I'm going to open it up and draw a line. And let me just measure. If that's our fold line and that's our other, that would be 5 inches, which is probably good. I'm going to draw a line there. Okay, and that will tell me put glue on this side. Okay, and then we'll just bring this piece over to our line and try to get it nice and straight. Okay, and just burnish down. Okay, there we go. Now we'll close that with a couple of magnets. And that'll be really fun to decorate. We'll build some flaps. I think this is going to be fun. All right, this is another 110 pound. I've already cut 2 of these, 1/2 inch. And I'm going to try to get this one the same. So 5.5 inches this way. Yes, I think. I'm so turned around with numbers. Yes, and then this to 6 3/4. I'm just a little off of 7. Okay, now these are the first 2. We'll fold and burn. We'll score this and then fold and burnish. I have not been in the craft room for a minute. All right, this will give us a little 3-page flip in the middle. And be a little different than things I've done in the past in these trifolds. You don't need a big space for Valentine, but I would have back in the day with the kids. We had a big family of 5 kids and it would have been awesome. So are all 3 of those the same? Yeah. All right, so where is my trifold? Let me pull that out. Okay, here is the trifold. It's going to go like that. We haven't put any magnets in it yet. But before well, let me think about that. I was going to say before I mat it. Nope, I think I'm going to mat it first, because if I put that on there, you'll see that little bit of white. I just know myself. I'm going to mat all of this and then put these on there. I'll show you the finished thing when I get there. I've pulled out this, excuse me, Dina, you're going to hate this comment. This horrid bubblegum pink. It's so not my favorite color. But I just marked it with a pencil, and what I wanted to show you here is that I'm cutting 2 at one time, right? 2 pieces of paper at one time, because this is for the inside back, right? So I'm going to have to trim it down in length. But I also have the back side, so I'm saving time by cutting 2 at one time. Okay, everything is matted, including these 3 pages, which I was debating turning one the other way, but I think I'm just going to make them all the same. So I'm just going to glue these down, and then that'll finish this, and then all I got to do is decorate it. And I'll do that with just some plain paper, or some of that Valentine paper I showed you this morning, and then if I do anything cool as far as decorations, I'll video that. So down goes the first one. I just left a little border of pink. That yicky pink. I'm a blue girl through and through. So that one's down. Check for errant glue. Sometimes that happens to me. This one's going to go right on top. It's kind of fun to mat them before sticking them in, because they're just heavier. So just get them lined up nice. Gosh, I feel like I'm wearing glue and little bits of tape off of this desk. Okay, check for glue. Okay. And I may regret matting these, because you'll have the little white strip inside, but I think I can cover that. I'm not going to worry about it. And so the last one right on top. Okay. Now if I do anything else, I thought about a waterfall, but yeah, it'd be kind of heavy picking it up. I'll think about that though. So anyway, let me give that a good minute to dry. Check inside for the glue. Okay, so you'll open it up and you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can put some flips. I'll figure that out and we'll get back with you. All right, back at it. The thing is now matted and their little pages are in there. And I was thinking, why don't we add some flips? So what I did was take a pencil and some of my 110, and I just, made my mark and cut it. It came up to be like 4 and just a tick. So I cut 3 that way. And I'm going to score each one, if I can get them apart, at the top. Make sure you can see. Well, you could do it, doesn't matter which end, I'm just a ½ an inch. And really bear down. So we'll just do them all that way. And I don't even know where we're going to use them all. I just noticed when I'd cut, like there was that much left, I thought, well, let's just use it. So one was a scrap and one was a full piece. So let's put this aside and bring in our cutter. We're going to cut these at the bottom, but that's just the way I do. I score first, cut later, because I don't like math. So we'll just make these as a couple of, oh, I folded that backwards. You always want to fold the other. Well, it's just a piece of weird paper. That didn't want to go either way. Oh, much like that. That one turned out. I wonder why that paper did weird. Okay, so I'm just going to mark. And we'll just mark down there. You know what I think I'll do? I think I will cut this one a ½ inch shorter than this one, so it'll have some overhang, and then we'll do this one on the front. That's what I think. But I must just cut with my mark to get started. So 2 of them will be the same. So let's put those together and cut at that mark. Okay, and then this one needs to be a ½ inch shorter than this one. So in my estimation, I'm just going to make a mark somewhere in there and cut. Whether it's a quarter or not, as long as it's some little bit of difference, it'll make me happy. Okay, let's get all this cleaned up and bring in our little flip book. So I am not happy with that edge. I don't have on my glasses either. Let me get those. Okay, here's what I'm doing to this. That was really not, it didn't, I folded it and it creaked. So I'm just taking that little orange block, and I got a cramp in my hand, and just filing it down. Wow, why did my hand do that? Okay, so let's put this one, do we have a front? Let's pick our front. This is the front, okay. So that can go there. Wait a minute, that's the shorter one, I can tell. Yeah, so one of these will go here. So that'll flip up. Have to erase that pencil mark right there. And then these, our longer one will go on the bottom. So I'll mat these with some more of that pink paper. And then this one will go on top. And be just a little bit shorter. Perfect. Okay, we'll check for glue underneath. Okay, we could put one more on, but I think we've got plenty. I mean, it's a Valentine flip book. I just don't think, you always could if you wanted to add another one. All right, I'll mat this and then we'll start decorating. Okay, it's time for magnets. We're all matted all the way through. You know how that flops up? I will probably put some kind of closure in there. All right, so first off, now I thought about this. That's why I don't like to put a flap on there. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in. I'm gonna take that off. Oh my gosh, let's just do it while you're here with me. Oh my gosh, yeah, because when you put your magnets on, I don't know, they're gonna pull up. I just don't think that's gonna work. I don't even want to try it. So, a little spatula. Let's just try to protect this pink paper if we can. And if we could protect the flip, I might put it somewhere else. Just be gentle. I'm reaching under there to grab the whole end of the half-inch flap so that, oops, now I've ripped my paper. I don't much care. I don't want it to show at the top though. I want it to be nice at the top so I don't have to redo that part. Maybe going down from the top is the right idea. Okay, let's see where we are. I don't much care about the flap. Can redo that part. But I really didn't want to booger up my pink paper. Excuse me. All right, so we have that left. So I'm just going to rip that down. It won't be seen. Just don't want to get to the edges. Okay. That's probably a save. Let me get a little glue and glue that back down. Okay, all right, not the end of the world. We'll cover that, of course, right? And then I'll probably clip that off of there and just put on a fake one because that's pretty thin. But guys, where there's a will, there's a way. And that'll all be covered up and we'll be fine. So let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Put the pin in my glue. All right, I haven't made one of these in a while. That's how I messed that up. Okay, so with the magnets, I'm going to take the plus and the minus and put them together. Plus and minus and put them together. Okay, let me get my little pokey tool and take off. Well, you know what? I don't want to cover these in the fixing of that. Let me think for a sec. Okay, I decided to just cover it up now with just a fresh set of pink. It'll be fine. I left that in there because every crafter makes mistakes and you got to know how to recover. Because you're going to make them, I promise. Everybody does. They just don't leave it in their video. Did I get glue on me? I think I did. I don't want to get glue everywhere. Okay, so just going to cover that up. Nobody will ever know but you and me. Perfect. Okay, sorry if my head got in there. I just want to make sure I was really on top of that other piece. Now, nobody knows that we did that little thing right there. So yeah, I'm not putting anything on this front cover. I don't mind it on this one. See? So I'm not going to put anything there either. Shoot, I wanted to put a belly band right there or something. But let's do our magnets. These things. Let go, my gosh. You're going to opposite sides. Take your own corners, guys. Okay, so magnets are going to go on, well, I want this to be my front. So they're going to go right there. So I'm going to take my pokey tool and take off the paper. And just stick it down well inside an inch. And with both of them stuck together. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm not going to take that off yet. There's a good reason for that too. This thing doesn't have any chipboard. It's got to be really square when you put these things together. So that's going down. Now let's look at it. When we put it together, we take those to there. We want it to be very square. This is the hardest part, I think, is getting it to be very square when you're using the magnets. I think I'm just going to go for it and do the best I can. Just go very, very gentle because the adhesive will be exposed. But getting them very perpendicular matters. So, stand it up. We want that to be square and this side to be square. That wasn't fun. It's just scary to me, you know. But we're pretty square. We're pretty square. I'm a little in, but you know. All right, so that's going to be very well closed. So very cool. So, all right, I thought we would take, make some little closures for these, right? So that when you open the book, things don't go flying like that. This one's not going to fly so badly. We perhaps could let that one go, but this one definitely needs it. So I'm going to take a piece of white that I've just, it's just a scrap, and I just folded it. Because it's not going to matter. We just need to make sure this side is long enough to go, you know, did you want it longer or shorter, you know, something in like that. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of here and glue it down. If my glue will come out the next morning, it never likes to work. I don't know if you guys have that problem. Come on. Okay, so just sort of in the middle. Glue everywhere. And then that will close and that will close. Okay. So let's use a little magnet for that. That one is a minus, so we need a plus. There they go again. Okay, come apart, guys. Okay, over there. All right, they can go together if they would just go together the right way with the adhesive out. So take the adhesive off, or not the adhesive off, but the paper off with the adhesive. Open that up and just stick her down. I always come down a little ways because it's hard to get your paper to lay down if you've got that space, this height. It's not a very thick magnet, but still you need a little space. So take it off of there and just lay her down. Okay, now that won't go flopping when we, and I'm just gonna let this one go, I think. So I'm gonna mat that in pink and start decorating.